The Ayrshire derby doesn't happen that often these days, and to have one at Hampden, well, that was something special.
And there was the draw with the gaffer, and they picked up Ayr. I was obviously like happy, but at the same time a little bit under pressure, because I know that was maybe the biggest derby in the club history, and like the Ayrshire community.
It's a huge occasion for everyone who's interested in football in Ayrshire and further afield when we draw Ayr in a cup competition.
A few of the lads, the likes of James Fowler, Gary Hay, people like that, were saying, you know, we'd love to get Ayr. You know, it's a big derby, and I think a few of us lads were thinking, well, I've never heard of the Ayrshire derby.
Playing down in Kilmarnock every week, you know, you're not really too aware of Ayr being there, because you know they're two divisions below us, and you know, Ayr fans just seem to come out of nowhere. We didn't know they existed.
I preferred personally to get Ayr United so that we could have the atmosphere of a big Ayrshire derby, and I know the rivalry that exists between the two clubs.
It's Ayrshire's El Clasico, bigger than Real Madrid against Barcelona for the football aficionados of Ayrshire.
We were always told about it when we first arrived, and but we weren't quite aware of how big it was and how fierce it was.
We had a lot of fans who were saying to us, as long as you beat Ayr, it doesn't matter what happens the rest of the season. So there was a massive expectation.
You only realize what means these people when you're around, like the week before the match. People like stopping you around the town. Come on, like we cannot lose this match. It was a little bit of pressure.
We got them in the semi-finals, and for me personally, it felt like a final. And I think if you asked any of the fans from both sets of supporters, it was the final, so to speak. And it was just such a massive occasion for everybody.
It maybe only comes round once, maybe every 2 or 3 years if you get them in a cup competition, and it kind of means that the bragging rights are there for a while. So we had to make sure that we got the victory.
And I felt a certain amount of pressure inside myself, that because it was so important to the people of Kilmarnock, that we had to deliver. It was very, very important. And we set about it in that manner, and we treated Ayr United with the utmost respect. I watched them every 2 or 3 weeks when I get an opportunity, because I so much wanted to get this football club to a League Cup final.
There could have been nothing worse for Kilmarnock than to lose to Ayr in a match like that of such importance and on such a big stage, and where we were expected to win because we were the SPL club.
You know, on the day it was incredible. We stayed in the hotel the night before, and remember looking out the window, and they seemed to be coming out from everywhere. Kilmarnock fans, you know, we couldn't believe the amount of people that and the amount of interest that was in the game, you know. And we were made well aware before the game of how much it meant to the people around Kilmarnock. It was an eye-opener for me to see the passion and you know, within the fans down here, and you know, the crowds that day at Hampden were tremendous. As I said, there was people here cheering us on the way out of the hotel, you know, for that game. So I definitely won't forget the first Ayrshire derby I played in, that's for sure.
It was obviously a really nice stadium. It wasn't fully full on the semi-final, but I think because of the rivalry, you know, you could hear it was great atmosphere, and just everyone was looking forward to it from the minute we stepped out for the warm-up.
This may not be the Old Firm, it may not be the Edinburgh derby, but make no mistake, this is a derby that matters, and all the more so this afternoon, with a place in the final of the Scottish Communities League Cup back here in Hampden at stake. And so for a few hours, the National Stadium becomes a little corner of Ayrshire as these teams meet for the first time in a major semi-final.
Probably as nervous as I've ever been, I think, playing a game like even during it, you know, because I was desperate for us, so desperate for us to win the game, and I just knew how much it meant to everybody that was watching us in the Kilmarnock end, and me myself being a Kilmarnock fan, I knew what it meant to the club, and I was just desperate to win that semi-final.
We thought that they would come and try and win the game. They would, in a one-off occasion, we thought they would come and make a right go at trying to win the game, which wasn't the case. They didn't want to win the game. They just came, they sat in, defended. when they got the ball, they kicked it over the halfway line and waited for us to come back at them. It was quite a bizarre situation, and eventually I think they might regret that.
Here for Shiels. Again, quickly closed down, a loose ball. And the First Division side fans who have travelled in their thousands make themselves heard at the National Stadium. Dayton forward for Gary Hay, trying to turn away from Smith. He's done well. Hay is over the goalkeeper. Great defending by John Robertson. Nelson, it's about coming forward now. James Dayton. Oh, he skipped by Eddie Malone. James Dayton now picks the cross out, heading cleared by John Robertson. Ayr United try to press it. There's Hay with a shot, comfortably taken by the Ayr United keeper.
I was very frustrated being back at the other end when all the players up at the far side and their goalie was having a great game, and you just started to think the longer the game went on, is this going to be our day?
Right from Kelly. Shiels the step over. Heffernan got lucky and almost a second time with a deflection.
Their keeper hit, and it's one of those days where he'll probably never play as well as that again.
Here's Dayton. He might be the man to unpick the lock. He's threatened, he goes for goal, beaten away, there's Harkins, great save, Cuthbert. Still a danger, not clear, Harkins can't bring it under control. Oh, what a save by Kevin Cuthbert to deny, first of all, James Dayton. Powerful effort, beaten away, and then it looked like Harkins would score, and he just stuck the leg out.
Their goalkeeper was in outstanding form as well on the day, had a couple of great saves, and it wasn't just one here and one there, it was kind of 2 and 3 in a row. So we were kind of getting a bit frustrated, I think, with ourselves.
Back now with Kelly, easily dealt with by Smith. Ayr United just packing the men around the box. Dean Shiels, oh, it's a terrific save by Kevin Cuthbert. A moment of real class by Dean Shiels, but matched by the save of the Ayr United keeper. This was heading for the top corner, and Kevin Cuthbert once more is the difference between Kilmarnock and the opening goal. It's Pascali, and Cuthbert's there again. Heroics from the Ayr United goalkeeper. This is tremendous stuff. This is what cup dreams are made of. Is there a cup fairy tales to be told at Hampden today? Dean Shiels with the corner once more. Returned by Hay, easy for Cuthbert this time.
The game was mental torture. It just felt as if we were never going to get that breakthrough. We were never going to find the goal, and you know, if we were getting past our defence, our goalie was saving it, or if we weren't, you know, the guys blocking shots, and you know, it was an unbelievable effort from Ayr.
Gary Hay opens up for him. Oh, what a shot and what a save once more from Kevin Cuthbert. Well, he's kept out absolutely everything that's been thrown at him this afternoon.
We just kept trying to encourage each other, even though the fatigue was setting in, and because it's a lot harder for a team to try and score a goal than it is for a team to not concede.
And at the end of full time, with extra time looming, it's Ayr United 0, Kilmarnock 0.
Despite having the vast majority of the possession and a virtual monopoly on the chances, Kilmarnock were still level. The manager still believed the goal would come, even if some of his players' thoughts had fast-forwarded to a penalty shootout.
They never looked to trouble us at all. But as I say, we just couldn't break them down, so I think the manager's message was just keep on going.
So it was kind of edging towards penalties, and you do start to think, oh, it's a lottery when it goes to penalties, and we're just trying to get ourselves over the line.
A lot of boys are thinking like he's looking that way now, because to be fair to Ayr, you know, they held out, their game plan almost worked.
I thought, prepare yourself for penalties, Cammy, because I mean, it could go down to it. You've not had a lot to do. Everyone would fancy the other goalie because you've not done much in this game.
That was one thing I wasn't going to mention. We had prepared for it in the week, the penalties, but we certainly made sure that we didn't mention that at 90 minutes, because that would have planted a seed in the player's head. So we just says, look lads, you've got 30 minutes to get a goal, because it doesn't look as if they're going to come out.
Heffernan for Racchi. David Silva up against Eddie Malone. This could be a chance for Kilmarnock. It's David Silva, just a yard or so wide of the far post. Tiffany stands up to it once more. But for Gary Hay, it's a dangerous ball, well away. Racchi now goes for the delicate chip, just too high from Racchi. We've seen him score a couple like that this season already.
I was cramping up everywhere, to be fair, and I think it was Jimmy Nichol asked me how I was, and I could barely move. And it wasn't fair to try and stay out there for my own selfish reasons or whatever. You know, it was better for the team to say that rather than try and hide it. So I went off.
Off will go Gary Hay to be replaced by Danny Buijs.
So sitting on the bench, and I remember we'd attacked.
Heffernan, time to turn. Is this the moment? Here's Ben Gordon infield for Shiels. Great save, Kevin Cuthbert again. Was there a follow-up? And Shiels! At last! The breakthrough comes for Kilmarnock!
I remember running away after I scored, and I remember how tired I was as Danny Buijs was jumping on top of me. I remembered I didn't have time to run anywhere or have the energy. I just wanted to try and get back in and see it out.
It looked like it would never come, but Kevin Cuthbert couldn't keep them out forever. But Dean Shiels buries it beyond him, and Kilmarnock are on course for a return to Hampden.
The clock seemed to be going very, very quick, and then when we scored, you're looking at it and it's going very, very slow, you know, waiting for the final whistle. But as I said, that was the overriding feeling at that day, was just relief to get through and to get into the final.
And the final whistle sounds. Kilmarnock are the team who will be back here at Hampden to contest the Scottish Communities League Cup final. Dean Shiels, the man who finally got the breakthrough. The Kilmarnock fans, the ones who celebrate. It was nail-biting at times for Kenny Shiels and his men, but eventually they found the breakthrough. And it's the Rugby Park faithful who will be returning to the National Stadium for their first League Cup final in 5 years.
The way, I think we won that match was even better, because maybe from a fan point of view, no, because as a derby you want to them to feel the worst. So having considered a goal, maybe 3 minutes to go in the second extra time, it was even better than winning maybe 6-0.
We've got into the final, and that was the most important thing for the supporters, and it made them feel happy. And when I looked up to the stand afterwards, I was delighted for those supporters and the players. The pressure was off, and now we could prepare for a cup final.